So we're just gonna let your video play here through once. All right, so take this back, watch it one more time through, and watch what your body does. Your head starting up here. So we'll put this cursor right there. And now watch. Your head has not gone any further to the plate, but it's gone down all this way. So we went from being this tall and strong, and then as this leg's making its way up, you're getting shorter. So your leg is not getting any higher now at this point. You're just getting lower and lower and lower to the ground, and now your foot is getting closer and closer and closer to contact with the ground. Okay? So if your foot now is closer to contact with the ground, we're not going to be able to travel as far. If we can't travel for as far of a distance, we're not going to be traveling for as long of a period of time. If we're not traveling for a long enough period of time, we're not going to have the time for our backside to drive to the plate and also rotate to the plate. Both of those actions, driving to the plate and rotating to the plate, must occur before this foot hits the ground. So if we work that back again, then if we get our hips lower to the ground and that leg lift does not continue to go up, but yet when the hips go down, the leg itself goes down, this foot is closer to hitting the ground. If it's closer to hitting the ground, it can't travel as far. If it can't travel as far, it's not traveling for long enough periods of time. If it's not traveling for long enough periods of time, we're not going to have enough time for the back leg to do its rotation and drive prior to this foot ultimately getting into the ground. So if we continue this forward then, and we will stop it once that foot does hit the ground, right here. And have we rotated our hips? No. Just a little bit right there. That's the only rotate right there. That's it. Backside has not rotated. All it has done is just rolled over. Watch your back foot. Right here. Watch his back foot. It's just rolling over. You're up on your toes. And it rolls over. That back foot's not doing anything. So the back foot's not rotating and driving. We know we're not, as a body, rotating and driving. Okay? So because this foot did not rotate and drive prior to this foot hitting the ground here, that means there's not that much rotational or linear driving to the target energy that this lower body can send up to this upper body. So if the lower body is not sending the upper body any energy, the upper body is now left all on its own to throw the ball as hard as you can. And all the upper body can do at this point now is rotate. And if the lower body hasn't rotated at this time, that means when the upper body rotates, it will be rotating and pulling this backside forward. And if this backside gets pulled forward during your rotation of your shoulders and continuing after you release the ball, you will never be able to rotate through release. You will always continue to walk and step forward. So we'll watch. You start to rotate your shoulders, and now look how much that backside's rotating of your leg. Watch how much starts to rotate after the fact. Boom. That backside needs to get that rotation on its own, not because the shoulder is rotating. And as this rotates, this gets pulled along. So if this shoulder is pulling this entire back leg, this shoulder cannot rotate fast. This shoulder cannot rotate freely. And that's what we need to happen in order to maximize our velocity and to minimize the stress that goes into this arm while we throw the baseball. So again, back to the feet with the energy not coming through on time. After these shoulders pull that back leg through, now watch, this back leg is just going to pretty much want to step straight forward. Look, the weight's coming off the heel here. So we know our weight's going forward at that point. We can't have any more energy going forward. We take all that forward energy and turn it into rotational energy. But because our lower body didn't do what we needed to do on time, that's why we keep going. And look, we can't even stop there. This foot's got to keep coming now. And now we're finally balanced. So because we didn't do anything with the backside up to this point, the upper half has to do it for you, and now the lower half is just going to keep on walking. And none of that rotation of the hips matches the rotation of your body. Look how the hips aren't rotating anymore, and they're just really just stepping. So if we, oops, not that, that. Get me to the desktop. Come on now. There it is. Oops, not that. Let's just pick some guys that you're going to know the name of, or at least if you watch any baseball, you will know the name of. Let's go Chapman. Let's go Clayton Kershaw. This one, no. I want this one. Or do I want this one? No, I don't want that one. Let's get King Felix. And let's get Jacob deGrom. And let's get the Stroh Show. That's what is that? 5? That's good enough. All right. We're going to watch just these guys' lower bodies. All right. Gonna let it go through one time full, and then we'll stop it and talk about it. All right. So take this back and let it play through here until hips starting to go. All right. Notice that those legs keep going up, and it's not until the hips start to lead does his body go down. All right, that head's in one spot, and now he's going forward. Hips are going, hips are going, hips are going. Okay, so we'll get him in this position here, and we will match you to that. Similar time and space with hand separation. Okay, so throwing arms in a similar position here. Similar position with shoulder, elbow, gloves a little bit more extended on his side than your side is at this moment. But let's look at some differences here. Look at the angle of the hips. He's sitting back. Where do we want our weight at? Back. This is what weight back looks like. Okay? We look here, and your hips are going straight across for the most part. Positive hip angle, matching positive shoulder angle. Here we have hips flat, and we have shoulders little angle, but for the most part, relatively flat. Remember, we're on this mountain. We have to use the downhill of the mountain to our advantage. So if we're level, that's too close to being going down. We need to be going up, up. So that way, as we go, we can then go from going up to now watch these lower legs. Watch these legs work here. Boom. Lower legs. Boom. Boom. All right, so let's just watch the back side here and watch what this back foot's doing. See that? That's driving away from the rubber. Driving away. Driving away. Driving away. Let's watch your back foot here. Rolling over. Rolling over. Rolling over. Heels lifting off the ground and just rolling over. Rolling over. Rolling over. Driving out. Now he's in foot strike. Drive. Watch this front foot and the back foot. I'll do it frame by frame. Frame. Still in the air in the front foot. Back foot starting to now drive. Okay. Now that heel is just barely off the ground, and now he's driving through that big toe. And as he drives through that big toe, watch how this foot continues to gain ground until it gets into the ground. That's the back leg moving our entire body. Nothing on the front leg does anything. It's all the back leg to foot strike. Okay? So now that we watch the back foot, let's watch what the back knee and back hip are doing during that time. Back knee starts to go in. Back knee drives in. Back knee drives in. Back foot drives away from the rubber. Back hip starts to come. All right, now let's watch the front leg here. Okay, leg starting to come down, and what is he leading the way with? The heel. Where's that toe facing? Towards that second baseman, since he's a lefty. For you, we want it to be facing towards the shortstop. You have that leg on that same angle of a leg lift that Chapman does. Obviously, his is a lot higher. Yours needs to get up more than that still. Okay. Look what's already leading the way for you. Your heel. Your foot's almost in the same angle that Chapman's is right here already. And he just holds that angle with his foot. Your foot very quickly goes open. Open. What's your knee doing? Opening up. Knee, foot, hip. Now you got everything open. Chapman's closed, 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 closed. Still closed, still closed. Foot's gotten to neutral, but this knee is still closed. Now that knee starts to open. The knee opens right into foot strike. Into foot strike. Foot strikes when this foot gets into the ground. That's front foot strike. Look where they're at here. Hips have fired. Front leg is in alignment to the plate. Shin, kneecap to the target. Feet to the target. Belt to the target. Back foot rotated over. Kneecap into the ground. Back hip all the way through. Upper body is still back. Arm is cocked and loaded. Glove is about 50-60% of the way finished. We take you into foot strike. Boom. All right, we look at these differences here and can see back foot's driven and rotated. Back foot's just rolled over, not has folded over, has not rotated. Back knee is not rotated. Hips have not rotated. Glove hasn't really began to finish a whole lot. It just started to swivel at this point. Arm is not ready to throw yet. Now the arm is ready to throw. Now the arm's ready to throw, and now your glove is more in the position of where it should be for finishing. So what does that mean? That means the upper body needs more time. So what's that mean? Lower body's got to do more driving, so we go further. We go further, we're traveling for longer distances. We're traveling for longer distances, we're traveling for more time. But look what happens, though, just to get you where we need to be at to start to rotate to throw. Look at the angle. You're already leaning forward. All your weight's out in front. Look at Chapman. We can see he's trying to fight to stay back. He's trying to stay back here. You're ready to go forward. So all you're going to do is just now blah to throw when Chapman's going to hoo-ah to throw. Power. 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 Versus All right, so we got to work this leg lift, getting higher and you not getting lower while you do that, which is going to set you up to be able to start to have more time to do your movements. But just having that more time is not going to give you that position that we need to get into. We got to start doing something with this backside and actually driving away and not just putting that foot straight into the ground. Foot straight into the ground. Foot straight in the ground. Chapman. Foot keeps going. Keeps going. Keeps going. Keeps going. And that's all because his backside is driving. Keeps going.